See, what's up, everybody? Hopefully, OBS is working good too. It was acting up on a call I had a couple hours ago. So,
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Oh boy.
I'll let you know right now.
Yeah,
See what's up.
cool. It
What's up,
should be
guys?
up. Yeah, there we go. What's up, everybody? So you guys can see a little bit, little render. Today, I'm gonna do some design work with you guys. I'm just gonna spend about an hour. It's open forum to whoever needs any help or has questions. But yeah, just gonna be hanging out, just cruising, same old. You guys know the drill. Just making art and talking about arts and stuff. So I was looking back at these. These are some older renders that I did a while back. John, you want me to share my screen with you? Let's see.
I could see it. It's fine. You're good.
You want here? I'll just share it just so you can have it, just in case you need it,
Yeah.
real time. Because I think
True.
that the chat and everything is a little delayed. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, these are some older renders that I did, just playing around with some of the stuff that I was building out. So, but today I wanted to make some really interesting abstract kind of constructs and stuff. So, yeah, and I'll go ahead and we'll go through that in just a minute. But these are some stuff. These are just renders from Octane that I had made. So, has some interesting bits and pieces. So, so jumping in here, I'm gonna go back into my vector file and I'm gonna remove this probably. And what I want to do today is focus on making like one really cool structure. And I'll kind of walk you through if I were to make like some sort of like complex shape, what I would have to do and how I would get there. So you guys kind of are aware of it. I've kind of gone through the process and shared a little bit of it in regards to these different objects and pieces. So let me just delete these because these are just all adding up. The file is getting a little heavy, so you can tell when I'm moving around. Just grabbing these pieces, deleting them, deleting this one too. So yeah, let me get into here and let's start the process of making something really complex. Just begin to see it. So here we go. So what I'm doing now is I have my grid, and as you all know, if you've been following my class and the things that I do, I really stick closely to the grid, and I'm always constantly aware of it, and I'm wanting to make sure that I'm making assets that adhere to it so that everything kind of has a similar language. And one line that I always use in all my classes is complexity is many simple things combined. So I'm constantly aware of using the grid to help me build out this complexity, this emerging complexity. So let's see here. Let's hit Shift X. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to be starting to add in a lot of interesting little details and bits and pieces. And I do this by hand. When I work on stuff, I never, like if I work on a client job, I never grab bits and pieces. I've seen some people have like these kits that they sell, like these kit bash kits of graphics and stuff. I never do that because I want to reinvent things every time I go into making things. And I think that it's good practice to kind of build your library out of basically being able to reinvent yourself every time you make a new design. You have this ability to go back and look through things and stuff. So, and then manifesting new bits and pieces will really help you out a lot too. So it's just good practice too. So, and what looks like kind of simple now will be quite complex once we go into the whole new structure of building these things out. So, that's
Someone has a question for you if you're ready.
yeah. What's up, guys?
It says, I'm enrolled in October's UI mentorship. What kind of exercises would you recommend as preparation for the next month? I have already done all exercises once some months ago. I was thinking about learning Octane or X particles, but maybe some other more practical exercise would be better. What do you think?
Hey, what's up? Awesome. That's cool. Well, welcome to the class. I'm looking forward to working with you first and foremost. Practices to do before is you're in the right spot now because you're you're just a part of the live stream, so you're able to kind of see what I'm doing on a weekly basis, and I'm just kind of touching the surface of what we're going to go over inside the class. So I think a good start is what you're doing now, which is being a part of this, which really helps out, I think, a lot. I'd say the next thing is to in that class it's more or less like discovering yourself, your creative voice, and like kind of finding interesting things. It's of course you're following along with me and you're finding, like how I do certain things, but it's also more or less like how you're going to problem solve and sort out the brief and stuff. So the preparation that I would suggest for that is just spending a little bit of time inside of After Effects. I'm not After Effects, sorry. Adobe Illustrator. Sorry, it's a little hard to do this and create cool designs. So it's hard to talk for me when I'm making these things as well. Usually when I make this stuff at home, I'm constantly just in a silent space and in my mind kind of getting lost. But yeah, I would say that. And also that you're smart for trying out Octane. I think Octane for me is a game changer, and I highly suggest it to anybody that's interested in learning something new in regards to like taking your work to the next level. I don't actually have a breakdown in that class on Octane because I built it with the standard render. I wanted people to be able to use the standard render at any time inside of Cinema, so they didn't feel limited, because when I first started it was it was just the standard render and that's all I could afford. Cinema 4D already is very expensive, and then adding on like hardware and computer, I'm very aware of that, and I didn't want to kill people right off the bat. So but I will be, if you're going to go in my class and if you want me to touch on the Octane stuff and you want to get deep into that, like we can definitely go down that rabbit hole. I'm totally down for that, because that's kind of where I'm going. I'm getting really quite into Octane these days. A lot of it, basically, I'm just really using it almost on a daily basis, and it's really affecting my overall output as an artist. So, but yeah, definitely. So, the only suggestions, like I said, is to be here when you can to these live streams. These are a great first look, and then the rest of it's just take a little bit of time to familiar yourself with Adobe Illustrator, and just be really comfortable with it. By the time we hit the floor running, you'll be able to go like, yeah, I know how to do that. It's really easy, and this is easy, and all that stuff. So everything will kind of come second nature to you. So hopefully that makes sense. That worked for you. So cool.
Somebody said that.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I have like long-winded answers. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Yeah.
This one says, well, he's pretty much the same. Thank you for the talk you did over at industry workshops.
Oh yeah, did I meet you in person? Who's this? Who's this is?
How
I met
was
a lot
that,
of
by the
beautiful
way?
people.
Was it good?
Man, it was just like a place full of love. So it was really awesome. Just
Awesome.
great peeps. Just really cool scene. Everybody was really nice, and yeah, it was really cool to be able to see like friends and stuff and people that I've had on like the podcast that I've never met in person. That was really cool. Just being able to see them in person, that was awesome. I was really stoked about that. So yeah, all in all, it was just a really great experience. Yeah.
Next question says, do you prefer Octane over Arnold for rendering?
I think that's like there's a lot of people, for me personally, I've never experienced it. And we talk about this quite a few times. I think the thing is everybody's searching for like the render that like, that their mom would accept. I don't know what it is. Like, like there's never like a tool that does it all, like, your mom might like Arnold. I'm not sure. I'm just joking, but bad joke. But no, what I'm getting at is people, we're all looking for like the thing that does has all the answers, right? People will be like, V-Ray is the best, and then there's like Team V-Ray, and then there's Team Octane, and there's like, it's just like this constant battle, basically. I've never tried Arnold, so I really can't give it a fair shake, so I have no clue. I shouldn't even be speaking about this. But I do know that Octane, it is, we talked about this last, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he mentioned it. It's a guy from from Grayscale Gorilla. Momo mentioned it. He has a really good, oh, there it is. Yeah. Chad Ashley. Thank you so much. Momo Gods is on it, man. He's like our 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 demigod,
Right.
I guess,
He is.
the learn square demigod. Thank
Sure.
you, dude. But yeah, I would definitely check out Chad Ashley's breakdown because it's really, really good, and he breaks it down really well. So I've never tried it. I do want to. I try to get on there. I was gonna do Arnold first in first place. It does have some really great, strong features that really excited me. But I am on the GPU train. I can't go back. I'm thinking about checking out Redshift, but my wife would kill me if I think about spending any more money on any of this stuff. So I've already kind of spent quite a bit of cash on all this stuff. So I don't think
Anyway.
I'm allowed to anymore. Yeah, until like I pull in some more cash and can pay the bills or something. So yeah, it's gotten a little out of control. So yeah, so Mrs. Thorpe is not happy about it. No, she is. She just
Sure.
she totally gets it. So it's just shit's expensive, man. I don't know. I have 6 GPUs now, 2 machines. Actually, I have 3 computers in my office. So and it's a
Wow.
Cintiq, and it's just expensive. But I'm doing this stuff professionally, so it's
Yeah.
got to pay to play. So again, another long-winded answer. I apologize. You're gonna get all long-winded answers today. So
This
yeah.
next one is any design guidelines, like reason why all your diagonal lines are 45 degrees or just related to the grid?
Yeah, I use a 45 because it is on the grid, so and it's like a trope, I guess, in design. I'm just freestyling right now. Like there's no I'm like talking and doing the design at the same time, so there's no real direct correlation. You're gonna see like towards the end here, once we get to the end of this, you're gonna see like the chaos that kind of emerges from this. I'm trying to grab this cube. But yeah, for me, it's just more or less just kind of freestyling and building this out. And this is going to get really, really crazy. It's going to have like a ton of complexity in it once I can get this to a good spot. What I'm doing is I'm kind of working in a section right here. One thing I probably should spend a little bit of time on, and I haven't, but some of my students had mentioned it, is to learn some of the new like patterns and all that kind of stuff. I forget what it's called, but um, Illustrator has this really cool patterns that they built out. What I want to do is I'm going to make out this really, really crazy vector superstructure over the next couple weeks, and then I'm going to take this into Cinema, I'm going to extrude it, make some crazy form, and then I'm going to light it and get crazy with Octane and run out some crazy renders, and I might run some procedural stuff through that and all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be kind of a fun experiment. I'm really just playing at this point, guys. So this really I have no brief. I'm just kind of freestyling. It's just like me sketching in a sketchbook, but I'm using Adobe Illustrator to do so. I'm just having fun with it. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of graphics in here in this quarter, and then I'm going to flip it, rotate it onto this side, and I'm going to flip that over to this side. And then I'm going to make a brush out of it, and I'm going to merge that brush and make multiple brushes out of that. And it's going to be this massive, again, emerging complexities that are going to be happening from it. But as I'm doing, I'm just freestyling. This is just like stuff that I've been doing for years. So it's just kind of playing around and looking at shapes and forms, and I'm finding like what I want to, like, okay, maybe there's a little bit of spot here. Oops. I'm going to maybe fill this in right here, and maybe it's good to have this a little bit vacant. And so, or I'm going to grab this and elongate this over here. And this is good for you guys to see because this is just how I freestyle, and you should do the same. Everybody should be doing this. If you're into like UI design and you just want to sharpen your skills, I would say like this is just the way to go. Just have fun, freestyle, try some different things, just see what comes of it, because you never know what your style is going to come of as you're going through this. So I might do 45s, you might be into like whatever, I don't know, whatever angle. So as you go through and try different things. So I'm keeping the point size on these the same. I could drop them down a little bit if I wanted to, but I'm going to keep them all the same. I think just at one point, so they're all unison. The thing that drives me nuts on the grid is when I get this kind of stuff, I have to go in here and grab the end of this node and drag it through here. Then I get this overlock on there, so I have to bring it through here. And I think I'll probably get it over there too. So again, using the grid sometimes is a B, so whatever.
And little off-topic question, but this is what was your first motor vehicle that you ever owned?
First car I've ever owned.
Yeah.
It was a '71 Plymouth Valiant. Let me see if I can find it. It's 1971 Plymouth Valiant. Here, I'll show you guys a picture. And this shit was awesome. This thing was a beast. And I painted it flat black. My brother gave it to me. It was a 4-door. I painted it flat black and I slammed it. I think it was like, yeah, it was a sedan.
That's cool.
And I had a big tool sticker on the back. This was when I was, yeah, it looked pretty similar to this actually.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. Had a Plymouth Slat 6 motor in it. It was the first engine that I learned how to destroy. It had no seat belts, so it was awesome. Just hanging out. Look at that. And I took the dash off, and it was all cracked, so I just pulled it all off. It had this baby blue interior. My brother had it reupholstered. It was a car that he had, somebody had given to him. I think the original color was this color. And then, yeah, so it's good times, man. I think it was a hoopty. I would just cruise around, cause a ruckus in that thing.
You got it?
I think I got my license. Yeah, this is the color of the interior. It was almost this exactly. It had this wood thing too. I hated the wood, so I took it out and painted that black. Ever since I first got a car, I was addicted to pulling it apart and messing it up. So it didn't look like this. This looks like crap. That looks like shit, and those rear lights. But I was like maybe like 19 or something. I didn't get my license until later. Super poor. I had no money, and well, this one's sick. Maybe I would just go buy one now. They're so cheap now. I just go buy one, fucking make it a beast, you know.
Yeah.
This thing is sick though. Look at this. It's like a dragster. So I like this. The 2-door. That thing is sick. I had a 4-door, so it was more of a cruiser. Yeah. From this, I then I got a Honda Civic hatchback, and that got stolen, and that really pissed me off. And then it got stolen right there at the same time. It was the same day my grandpa passed away. It was at like his funeral. I was so fucking pissed that day. Could have burned a hole in the sun with my glare. It was great.
That's horrible.
It was, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah. Poor guy. That was yeah. As always, I always remember that shit. But yeah, it was a Valiant. It was a rad car. My brother gave it to me, my older brother. So it was, I think somebody had given to him actually. So he paid it forward and handed it over to me. It was a car I always loved too, because, you know, all these other cars, they don't have that kind of class or that style, but that car had it. And it was just like this really cool, just this cool piece basically that I really dug. So yeah, I'd just be blasting like Rage Against the Machine or whatever.
That's cool.
I put a system in there, and then I dumped the exhaust right under, like underneath my feet. One time the brakes broke, and on the way to LA on the freeway in the rain, the brake pedal died, and then I just drove all the way back up to my brother's house, and that in the rain, no brakes, like a boss, because I couldn't fix it. Yeah, and then my brother and I got in a big fight, and then we couldn't fix it. He was like, we just got in a big fight, and then I drove back home to San Diego with no brakes too. I just was using the gear and just like slowly putting around.
That's sketchy.
I was a pretty crazy kid. I was still quite crazy. I still have tendencies, but yeah, I was a little chaotic in my youth. Nobody can control me. Yeah, what's up? Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
Segue.
It says, do you sometimes sketch these grid designs in a sketchbook with a pencil?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. I would suggest doing that. I think it's great. I just did a big client project. It's for a massive game. You guys will see it. I call it Pew Pew Games. So it has to do with guns. But yeah, for a lot of this kind of stuff, I drew out a lot of stuff just preliminary, just to get my ideas out. But yeah, I'd suggest if you want. I think that's a great idea, and I do that a lot, and that really kind of infers like where I'm gonna go with everything, and it helps me kind of get a better grasp on just the overall design and the direction and the style. So yeah, it's a win to do that. It just helps you kind of see what you're doing, and even if it's quite rough, you know, it's it's not the end of the road. And when in my class, I kind of talk about that and how I suggest trying that just so that you don't get lost in this world, because as much as I love this, and it's really, this world is actually very similar to Fusion 360 in my mind. It's using the grid, and it's using, like, basic design and math to make art basically. But yeah, again, sorry, a lot of segues today. I'm a little cloudy in the head today. It's got a lot going on, and I think I'm still jet lagged from London, so I don't know, maybe not. So
Now we're doing good. You have a lot of time still, so
cool. Well, I'm just
speed.
apologizing because I'm rambling so much. Stop rambling, Ash. Get on focus. Stay on target. Stay on target. Like
This next
Porkins.
one's This next one says, when you're doing your own personal side projects, what
Mm.
are your usual timelines for when to finish them?
Oh man, I'm gonna quote John Laster on this, as I do every time I talk about due dates for your passion projects. Is like, projects are never done; they're just due. And like the thing with your project on your passion projects, they're hard to really gauge that, because you just want to constantly be fixing things. Because if you're like me, you're constantly growing and evolving, and so it's really hard to really have the ability to get things done in time, because all you're going to want to do is like constantly go, oh, I can do this better, and you're constantly going to want to kind of upgrade the piece as you go, because it takes so long to do a personal project. I think, like, if look at, like, say, Raoul Marx, and when he did Semi-Permanent, and he did it all himself in like about a month. I don't know how the hell he did that, how dare you. But he I think that's a perfect amount of time, where it's like just enough time to kind of drive you crazy, but enough to kind of let you have some freedom to kind of get stuff done. So I would suggest, if you have a big project, I would say, try to have a good timeline so you can focus on it. But it's really hard for me, because I'm constantly, like, I'm working on, I don't know if you guys have seen it, there was that one with the chair, the girl in the chair, and all that weird stuff. That's just like something I've been learning and doing on the side. But my client projects have been really, really intense, and I'm just trying to finish out. I'm working on this movie right now. I'm having a great time with it, but it's taking a lot of time and energy, and so I can't put as much time to that as I want to. So I'm just sacrificing that. And also, just a little spoiler for you guys, everybody that's been being here on the Twitch stream, is we got another instructor coming on, and he's teaching some super epic C4D stuff, and I'm taking his class right now. I'm going through the motions of getting all that stuff done. How sick is that stuff, John? Have you seen it?
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was just staring at it. I was just lost.
Yeah, it's awesome. You guys are in for a treat.
You did it so fast, too. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's second nature. You know how it is, like when you watch like a painter do something, when he's doing like his Cinema 4D stuff, he's just like,
Yeah.
it's a second
He
nature.
knows the tools, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be getting him on. We're gonna bring him on here too once we release the news about him coming on. So, yeah, it's gonna be really killer.
Stylus at who? Who is it?
You'll never know. So no, I can't tell because we have to lock it in. I don't think we can tell. Can we tell yet, or can we not? No,
I don't think we can. No.
Ask Papa Andrew.
I will ask.
Yeah, but I don't think we can still. As much as I want to, I would love to. Nothing more than to share this news with you guys. But yeah, I don't think we can. Not until the class is released. So it's just a policy we're trying to eliminate any kind of. I don't know why we're doing it. I think it's just to kind of.
Yeah, I don't know why either, but it's your guys' decision. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's got to be a reason for some. I mean, everything's been approved and stuff, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you guys, because it's just like a real dense amount of really, really great logic and knowledge that comes from a really great working professional that knows his stuff really well. And
I can't wait to see what you produce too.
Oh, I got some stuff. I'm gonna do something cool. Yeah, I'm actually, today and yesterday I started really ironing out all my ideas and going through a lot of the pieces and the constructs of everything that I want to build. So yeah, it's gonna be sick. I'm gonna turn it into like a passion project basically. So passion projects are so important. I think that everybody should be doing them. John, you should be doing them. Everybody should.
I agree, man.
My mom, my grandma should be doing them.
You're
you know.
currently. Why not?
Yeah, I do it, Grandma. What's the guy, the guy, um, McDonald's guy, the clown? What's his name? Ronald McDonald should be doing passion projects that doesn't involve kids eating
Oh,
children,
man.
like a Stephen King novel.
As the next
uh,
guy says. He says, "Yo, thanks for everything that you're doing. It's awesome." Also, in a
Welcome.
previous podcast, you recommended some books for grid design.
Yeah,
Any suggestion?
yeah. Let's hop on over to the old uh, Amazon list. Amazon. So let's see. Grids. Let's see. Swiss grids. Grids are great, and I think I mean I break down the grid system. Let me see this grid system. There it is. This is the book. This is a great book. I'm gonna give you this link. This goes straight to my sexy time thing. Here, John, I'm gonna send this to you in the chat so you can have it. Grid systems and graphic design is really great. I'd suggest this one. Knowing this book is really great. It's a great resource to help you understand just kind of how grids work. I need to actually go back through this book. It's amazing how fast I forget things. How quickly I forget all this stuff. But you're also, and first and foremost, you're very welcome. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to help out. I'm sure once you get to a place, I'm sure you probably help people out as well, and it's just how it should be. Making and Breaking the Grid is really good. This is a book that I actually got in college when I was going to college, and yeah, I was like, what is this? Grid sucks. Get out of here. And so all I wanted to do is break everything, and I wanted to make weird, chaotic design, and I didn't want to follow the grid at all. So it's quite funny. It's just a human nature thing for me, is I'm constantly, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then I break the logic of things. So between these two books that John's sharing with you guys, just try these two out, and then once you get through this and you want more, let us know, and we can kind of try and find you a couple books. But these two books are really, really good, and they break everything down really well. I think this one is the Swiss are the ones that do like the German. It's got German and English, so it's in both of these. But the Swiss and the Germans, all that good stuff. The Germans, they love their perfection. So yeah, so I'd check those out. Those are the good stuff, the goodies. But yeah, I mean, the grid, I break it down in my class, but it's pretty easy. It's all in here in the preferences and stuff too. So, but yeah, you should check those out. Again, as I'm saying, as I'm going through here, I'm just really freestyling, just like grabbing things, making I don't know, just making stuff and trying a couple little different things and seeing how things line up and add up and adding little bits and pieces. And a lot of times, a lot of these things are just instinctual, and they come about from doing this stuff over time. And you're going to have your own voice as you go about discovering what it is that you like in your designs and how you like to see designs. I would suggest, if you really want to get into this stuff, that the only way, it's like jujitsu. Like my jujitsu coach said it perfectly. It's like the best people at jiu-jitsu are the people that put the most time in. Like they want to, you're like a car. Like basically, the shittier the car, the more mileage on the car, the better the car is. It's kind of the same analogy. It's like the better you want to be at this stuff is the longer that you're gonna have to put in of practice time. And this to me is just like, it's just like if I could sit around all day and do this, like easy breezy. This is fun stuff. Just like playing around, trying new things, making shapes, and just freestyling, letting my brain kind of be free, basically. So
This next
yeah.
question says, Yo Ash, besides the Collective podcast, what are you listening to lately while working?
Yeah, great question. Pieces of this things that I'm listening to. Let me look at my let's see. Let me get this tab up here. I'm listening to a couple of things right now. I'll just keep it in Amazon. Because I use Audible when I listen to stuff. I haven't listened to a podcast in a while. I got recommended to from a gentleman, I believe Dan Potter is his name. He might be here actually. Nice guy. He mentioned to check out this guy's podcast. He's actually from San Diego. He looks like a beast. He looks like a Lost Boy character. I need to go find him and film him. So I should have used this guy. Anyways, he's got some kind of some cool stuff on like jiu-jitsu and stuff. So but I haven't checked it out yet. What I am listening to right now is Smart Cuts. I was talking to Grayscale Gorilla, that dude, and why am I forgetting his name? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with my head? He's a sweetheart, that guy. But he told me to check out this book called Smart Cuts. So I'm listening to this right now. Really love it. It's great. It's really, really good. Highly suggest it. I'm making everybody at Learn Squared listen to it. John, you need to listen to this. Get on that shit. So I'm listening to it via Audible. It's really good. Smart
Yes,
Cuts.
sir.
It's really good. I love this kind of stuff. It helps me beyond like art and design. I love this kind of stuff because it just fills my mind with just all kinds of interesting bits and pieces that I can go and use to kind of apply to art. So taking information from another resource. So Smart Cuts. And then I'm also listening to Black House. So I'll just send this over to you guys. So this, and then Black House. It's a Stephen King. I've been on this like crazy Stephen King kick right now. Let's see, I think it's Black House. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, Black House. Yes, it's really good. It ties in this one story called Talisman. I think I can't remember how you pronounce it. Kirill was turning me on to that book, and I couldn't really get to it. I didn't really like it as much, but this one is really interesting. It's cool. It's typical Stephen King. Just like, what the fuck. Nothing reads as good as a Stephen King novel for me personally. Actually, I was going through trying to reread Neuromancer, and I was having such a hard time because it gets so nerdy. It drives me nuts, and it's just like, whereas Stephen King is not into, like, he has just the right amount of information to like have like not the superfluous. What do you call that? Is superfluous stuff that doesn't matter? What's that word? Is that what the word is? Superfluous. I don't know.
Perfulous.
Superfluous. I can't. I'm making up words as we go. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's super good. So those are the two things I'm listening to right now: is Smart Cuts and Black House. Man, I put some good miles on both of those over my trip. I also watched Stranger Things. For everybody that's been telling me to watch that show, I watched it. Everybody told me I must be the only person on the earth that was not a big fan. I don't know. It's just people hate me probably for it, but I don't know. I think I'm just an old shithead or something. I don't know what my deal is. So I can articulate scene by scene why there's things that bother me with it. So and when I ask people about it, friends and stuff, some people come out of the closet and say, yeah, I didn't like it. So I was like, oh, okay. It is, on the surface, it's really cool, and like seriously, hats off to those guys for making that happen. It's incredibly challenging to make a thing of that. So I do love the 80s. That's the thing. I love the 80s. I love the 80s so much. And when you try to bastardize it, I'm like, hey, now, easy now. I'm not trying to say bastardize. I don't want to be negative here. And not everything's for everybody. It's just writing. It's basic writing. It's parts of the structure of something. It's like Prometheus. It's the problems I have with Prometheus that, I had Peter Chung on the podcast, and on the Collective podcast, and he like loves Prometheus, and so we went at it, and he I'm not going to go and insult him and kind of break all that stuff down. If he likes it, then it's like, well, who am I to judge, So It's the same thing with this too. It's like, if you like it, it doesn't just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good. It's just different opinions. So, but it does break a lot of logic. The police officer, mainly what he does and how he deals with things, it's just like, I was like, what the hell? Like, it just didn't. A lot of stuff didn't add up. So, and there were some really cool things though. There's some things I really liked about it, but for the most part, it just drove me nuts the whole time. So I was like, ugh. So, but I went through it. Everybody told me to watch it. I watched it on the trip. So here you go. I'm sorry. I wish I loved it. I just didn't. I'm actually also watching The Wire, which is a masterpiece show. So
I gotta watch that.
Oh man, yeah. If you want to watch something good, like something that's incredible, The Wire is just so good.
Yeah. Did you see one of the main title design students did a redo of the frame?
No, I didn't see that. No
sequence.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick.
If you got it, I'd love to see it. No, it's hard for me to keep up. You guys are there's so much stuff going on. It's awesome. I love it.
Definitely gotta watch that movie though.
Yeah, it's a television show. It's got 5 episodes. It's an HBO series. super, super good, man. Like, it's written with logic and characters that make sense, characters that are multifaceted. It reminds me of Heat, but it's just so well written and it makes a lot of sense. It's just crazy layered and really smart, and you can tell it's written by somebody that has like a good brain that understands story and all that stuff. It's just
I have to
really,
check that
really
out.
good. Highly recommend that
This
show.
next question says, "Hey Ash, thanks for the stream. I
You're
enrolled
welcome.
in the titles main title
Awesome.
class. Really
Hopefully you
excited to
liked it.
jump into it in October. When you're experimenting and just working on your own projects for fun, do you develop a key concept that you adhere to, or is it pure improvisation?
You
Why
got
can't
it,
I say
John. You got it.
that? And
Improvisation. Blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
It's a tongue twister. That's a hard one for
and
sure.
experimentation.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely, it just depends on the flow, really, you know. For the most part, I do try to, really get into like a weird mind state, you know, and I talk a little bit about it in the class, but, um, I think sometimes I have an idea, like there is that woman in the chair, for example, if that's a personal project. Here, I'll just grab a project so I'm not just talking out of my ass here. So let's go to my site here. I'm gonna leave that open. Thorp, yeah, okay. When I go here, damn it, the type's messed up again. I think it's cached right now. So I was talking to Adam, who helped me build the site. The type is all messed up. Don't judge me. I didn't make this call. Anyways, when I go through and we look at, say, like the six, which isn't a title sequence, it's more or less just a voyage. And I'm actually going to go and make a motion piece out of this. I think my friend Chris Briere and I are going to go and do something fun with this because he's awesome and we have a lot of fun building stuff together. So, but when I build something like this, for example, it starts with like a simple, like, hey, let me make Saturn just because it's fun. And then kind of getting lost in just making the art and having fun with it. And then just using the photographic eye, I guess, or the lens inside of my mind, capturing photos. When it comes to title sequence stuff, I think it's quite similar. You know, if I'm working off something that doesn't have a brief, your mind can wander. And so it's more or less just like me kind of playing with ideas and kind of thinking abstractly and coming up with things. So like the stuff that when I was teaching the class, yeah, you can do it website. You can do it. Okay. All right. When I was doing like the Frail one, for example, when we were designing the class, for example, I was just kind of freestyling ideas. I was learning, this was like very early steps of me learning DAZ 3D and Marvelous Designer. And this is like the first time I started using Octane. I cringe a little bit when I look at these, but you know, hey, it's learning lessons. There's all kinds of things that I would do now, but it's still okay. But I was thinking more abstractly with like weird ideas and stuff. And I had a log line that kind of came from here, which is just the piece that's in here. So a concubine struggles to find her identity with her new family. Andrew and I kind of went through and developed a bunch of just like log lines that we then, you know, put together and then kind of manifested from there. So this is kind of the baseline. And sometimes you get a project that comes in and it'll be like, hey, this is a scenario that happens all the time. Like, hey, Ash, we have this title for this company or this brand or whatever that we want to work on. It's either a title sequence or a main on end or whatever. And they don't have a lot of information. And so what I gave you is like a worst case scenario. So I just have this and then I break it down in the class where I dissect every word and build out as much as I can from there to extract as much information as possible and go from that. It's really quite difficult though, guys, because like if it's not, I'm working on a title sequence actually right now. I'm really excited about, and I'll be able to break that stuff down. It'll be much more applicable. But for this stuff, it's more of just kind of freestyling, kind of coming up with things, and it's kind of difficult because I've never done like a really, I guess like, you know, X-Men was a major one, but that's with the team. It wasn't me completely by myself. There's Sundays, but I still haven't broken through and done like my own complete title sequence. Well, I guess FITC, but that didn't really have a brief either. So, and we kind of nailed the brief with the X-Men thing too. So it's kind of difficult, you know, so every project and every client is completely different. None of them are the same. You'll find that quickly. Everybody has a different aesthetic. The project has a different need. They're constantly always changing, and everything that you're doing, nothing is the same. At least it shouldn't be. If you're doing something and it's the same through projects, then that's just not good because you're just getting complacent. So, super long-winded answer. Apologize for that. Hopefully that made sense. Yeah, freestyling again. So, but yeah, it's more or less just kind of per project. And when I work on my own stuff, I'm just kind of freestyling and trying to find those things that interest me the most. The thing about like the girl in the chair was just like this weird image that I wanted to make. I wanted to make this like weird, demonic, weird, possessed head thing in a chair, but make it look beautiful, like a 3D, like a painting of sorts and stuff. So while I'm talking about this, I'll pull up that image so you guys can see.
How long ago did you start that?
I don't know, like maybe like a month and a half ago. I was just kind of playing around, really, and then I made it, and I was like, oh, okay, because I was doing some stuff with Intel at the times, and I was like, oh, okay, this would be cool. And it was just got really dark, and then we don't want to use that. I was like, oh yeah, I don't blame you. This is quite weird. Let's see if I can find it. That's not it. I'm looking at my other screen because I have some stuff I can't share over here. Ooh, some Lost Boys stuff. Now I can't see that. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, these are weird. I have a folder in my Dropbox where I just kind of kick weird stuff out. Like, I don't know if you guys saw this kind of stuff. I did like weird, just like shitty geo with like shitty UV, but I just had fun making textures and stuff. So just explorations, I always talk about it. I preach it to you guys all the time. You guys should be doing the same thing. It's just like learning things. Like when I look back at this now, I go, oh wow, like I messed up with the texture here. It looks cool. It's the film index, and this model is messed up. But it's cool. I think it's important to do these little exercises because you're gonna learn so much from them. So where the hell is this stuff? Sorry, I'm trying to go through all this. I think it's in here somewhere.
It's all good. I'm gonna go into the next question, but keep looking for that.
Yeah, do it.
Says, hey Ash and Company, I've studied with Safe House and the MB guys in the past, and I'm currently enrolled in 3 courses with you guys here on Learn Squared.
Wow, damn. What's up, dude?
But the one thing I've had very little knowledge on is how to start conducting business as a freelancer.
Yeah.
I know everyone does it differently, but would the business of freelancing be something you'd consider teaching or lecturing about?
100%.
Do you often go about bidding on projects and such?
Yeah, we're going to be doing that, actually, and this has been a topic. We're bringing Andrew on soon, and he's going to help John and I. We're going to go through, and we're going to start asking you guys what questions you guys need answered. And since you're a Learn Squared student, everybody that's a Learn Squared student is going to have free access to this. It's going to be a resource we're just going to give to you guys. It's a very important thing. We could probably make a shit ton of money off of it, not joking, because it's like the biggest thing that people ask for. But we feel like it's something that you guys need to have. It's, I really, if you know me, you know how important it is to educate you guys on this stuff and like protect yourself in this industry. So I'm going to do my best to give you guys that information. So yeah, that is going to be a thing, and it's going to be a format that it's not going to just be for me because I don't want to give you guys just my perspective. I do believe that Noah Bradley did do a really great breakdown on the art of freelance, I believe. Do you know where that is? That could be possibly, let's see, Noah Bradley freelance. He did a freelance tutorial, I think. The art of freelancing. There it is. Yeah, so here it is. This is good, and you can buy it. It's $57. Support Noah, he's rad. He breaks it all down, though, I think. And I mean, maybe we'll have him on here, and you could talk about it a little bit too. I'm not sure if he wants to. It's up to him. But yeah, I'm gonna break that down for you too, so it helps you as well. But it's a work in progress, guys. As much as I want to jump through and get to this as fast as possible, it's gonna take a little bit of time. To get us to where we need to be. So, but yeah, that's kind of that to answer your question, we're going to be doing that. It's a big deal, and we've been really John and Mache and Andrew and I, it's on a daily topic, basically a weekly conversation that's going on behind the scenes. But we're going to be bringing them off. We're going to be bringing up all this stuff soon. We're going to be going through it and helping you guys out with that stuff. So, and what I want to do is I want to make this thing for you guys so that it's not just my opinion. We're going to have like Mache's opinion and like all my other working friends out there and freelancers and all that kind of stuff, so that everybody has the information that they need, like signing contracts and NDAs and all that kind of stuff, what to charge, how to charge, legal, all that kind of stuff, really all the stuff that really sucks to do, but it's part of if you don't want to die a poor person or, leave a legacy of just abandonment, of financial debt and destruction, then it's good to have this information and knowledge. So, and we're giving it to you guys for free because you guys are awesome. So, yeah. So it's going to take a little bit of time, though. I'm just letting you guys know. It's been a conversation that Andrew and I have had like extensively for months. So, and we were going to do it where we're going to do like a class where I was just going to go and make a class and we're going to charge for it. But I think it's best if we just do it. I don't know, give it to you guys because I'd rather more of you guys have it. So
It's awesome.
I like that shit.
Next one says, what do you think about pixel perfect design?
Pixel perfect design, what are my thoughts? No, I don't know, it's cool, I guess. I mean, it depends on who's making it and why and all that stuff. For me, design there's many different things. Sometimes design can just be completely to solve a problem, and sometimes design can be to enhance life. I mean, it could be both. I had a live podcast with Mike Hill. You might be able to find it if you're interested. John, can you help me find that? It's Industry Workshops live stream. I think
I'll find it.
If you could share that with everybody. Mike Hill's like obsessed with the design, and he was really getting into it. He's making love to design. But design for me is just, it has many different meanings. It means different things to different people. But pixel perfect design, I imagine it's more or less just, depends on the purpose. So
yeah, I was watching this one. It was awesome.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was great.
It was kind of sketchy for me. I never met him. I didn't even prep for it. I just went right there and did it. So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I'm getting a little okay at doing the interviews. And it was tough because I had no questions. When I do the podcast at home, I have like a list of questions that they have no idea that I'm asking. And I'm organized and I have all these things. So I was I was quite nervous actually. Try not to let it show. So glad it didn't come across.
The one I just linked was actually 2015. I'll find another one. Sorry.
Yeah, his I mean, that's a good one too. You should watch that because it's is it the one with the contact share that he talks about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's the one that got me into wanting to do an interview with him because he's interesting, his perception on things and stuff. And how he breaks stuff down.
Both of those.
Yeah, he gets apparently got super into, he broke down this stuff in Terminator. So yeah, he's really obsessive with that stuff. So, but anyways, to reiterate to my talk or my thought, sorry, I'm all over the place, but yeah, he's really obsessed with design. I would suggest checking that out. And so pixel perfect design, I think it's, if there's a reason for it and if it's necessary, then it's good. If your pixel perfect design needs to be perfect because of limitations, or it needs to be precise because let's say you're building a design of a building or something and the architecture design needs to be perfect at the bottom floor so that there's no, issues at the top floor and all that kind of stuff. There's really at the end of the day, design is based on the purpose of whatever it is that you're making. This what I'm making now, I don't know if I would consider it design. It's just me playing around, having fun. This is like me vector sketching basically. And this is just kind of similar to how I'm going to be teaching the fictitious UI stuff, which is just kind of building assets and kind of playing around with stuff, which is similar to the stuff that's been taught in the UI and data design class. So it's funny, people have questioned me on hey, is that how would you even submit this stuff to how did you pass this off as being UI? And again, I use this as a case study. There's a lot of other projects that I can't share, unfortunately, because of just NDAs and stuff. But this is the direct example of why and how I taught that class, because it has a direct correlation to exactly the way that I worked on a massive, massive project for DARPA for their Cyber Grand Challenge stuff and many other things that had to do with DARPA and all this other stuff. So this is just a little bit that I was able to share, but quite connected. And you would say, this isn't UI, Ash. I'd say, well, I would beg to differ because I'm creating a language and using systems and symbols to create that language. And it's fictitious, but fictitious symbols and all that stuff kind of goes into theory and then blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, we're getting into some kind of like black hole talk and stuff. And then it wouldn't make any sense at all because we're not talking about anything that is pertinent to what we're discussing now. So yeah, black hole conversation. But anyways, yeah, to get into the whole thing with UI, it's just a language, and design is a device of making life better, of problem solving, hopefully problem solving. Dieter Rams has that whole thing. If you haven't found it, he has that 10 rules of design. One of his final rules is like design is as little design as possible, which means like great design is invincible, which I agree. But again, everybody has different opinions on this stuff, and I think that's what makes the world so unique is everybody has their own opinion on what design is to them, and all that kind of stuff. So you're getting the longest answers today. I apologize, guys. I'm literally like in a loophole, so I think I'm a little sleepy or something. I don't know what's going on. So
Yeah, someone said you need coffee, Ash.
yeah, I don't drink coffee actually. I'm not into it, and I can't drink coffee. I think it tastes like burnt cardboard. It tastes
Do you
horrible.
drink tea at all?
I don't like tea either. I don't know. I can't get into it. Maybe I will later. I'm sure I will later because my whole life I was like, I'm not going to drink any alcohol. And now I drink wine. So it's like, I guess it just depends on my maturity.
So we have about 10 minutes left until 2.
I could go to 2:15 if you want.
Okay.
If that
Yeah,
works
there's
for
still
everybody.
plenty of questions. It's up to you, though.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go to 2:15, guys. I'll give you guys a little bit extra time because I'm wandering around and fucking around. So sorry. I should start making this cool now. So go ahead. Sorry, you can ask questions and stuff.
Says, I'm a beginner artist. Can't
What's up,
really
beginner
decide
artist?
focusing on environments, characters, and now UI design and the title design, since all of it looks really awesome. What made you decide to focus on UI? Tried them all?
Yeah. Well, hello, first and foremost. Welcome to the Twitch stream. Being a beginning artist is a beautiful thing. Embrace it because like you're on a dawn of a really cool part of your career and enjoy each part of it. Sounds like you're enthusiastic about a lot of things. I think it's quite interesting, actually. Even when I was at industry workshops, I think a lot of people are looking at, like, I watch the crowds basically, and a lot of people are there for, if like you can do sick ass paintings, you'd have like a good, solid crowd, a good audience basically. And it's interesting for me because I'm this like in this weird spot. There's a lot of stuff that I've done recently that is a lot more geared towards like what Mache does. I can't show it just yet, but I can't wait to share it with you guys because it's pretty crazy work and I'm really excited and proud of it. But in regards to just being excited about things, I'd say like just go for it, whatever you're excited about. I think I've told this story many times, but I'll say it again. But when I first started doing UI design, I wasn't really aware of what it was, to be completely honest. It was like, oh, okay, let's do this thing for Ridley Scott's film. All right, and it's UI, whatever that is, like I wasn't really aware of it. Wasn't my first UI job, but it wasn't about that. It was about solving a problem. It was about working on a film franchise that I was proud to be a part of. And it was about solving a problem in a film. So I think for you, if you're starting off and you're excited about all this stuff, that's a good sign. That means you're engaged and you're excited about things, which is always good. I would use that as just like muse to kind of push you forward. And if you're having a problem, like trying to figure out what it is that you want to do, then you're in the exact same spot that I am. I have no advice for you. I'd say just have fun with everything that you're making and, just do what you can to, read up on as much stuff that you're passionate about, so it never ends. The pursuit of knowledge should never end. It is always continuum. It should never stop. You should always be excited and engaged mentally on everything that you're doing. I encourage concept artists and stuff to take UI classes just because that's how the school works, because you're able to see like weird alchemies that come from people and their minds, the way they problem solve and stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry I didn't really answer your question, but I think that my strongest advice for you starting out is just to do what you love and find that through just the process of making things, so, and you will find it eventually. Trust me, you will. So it'll all come together.
That's an epic answer.
And there you go. It's long as hell. Sorry, but yeah.
This next one says, any tips on building portfolio? Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. It says, hi Ash, have you worked on video game UI and how do you use grids in terms of UI UX? E.g., working on a HUD with energy bars and menus.
Yeah. Let me pull up some video game stuff. Hold on one sec. Clients, what the Treyarch, I think it was the name. Treyarch. Shout out to my buddies over at Treyarch. Let's see. Give me a sec, guys. I'm on the other monitor. You guys can't look over there. It's super top secret, spicy stuff. I can show this Treyarch stuff because I was supposed to put it up on my site, but I just got kind of lost and busy on stuff. But yeah, I've worked on a lot of video games actually. And let's see. Let me go down here. There's a ton of stuff. This one has 324 files. Let's see. Where to start with this stuff? Yeah, I could do. No, that's like a zoom thing. This is all be using grids again. There's like a portal zoom in thing. Let's see. This is like a HUD thing that I built for this. I'm going to be using a lot of these as examples, or I don't know if I can actually for my other class, but just examples of HUDs and stuff. Let's see. This one is more of a. It was an interesting approach, the way they wanted things. It wasn't as locked in as I wanted to, and eventually it kind of just changed, and it was getting crazy. And let me try and see. There's so many files. Sorry, I'm kind of just grabbing this stuff on the fly. I can't remember which Call of Duty this one is for. I built this like weird widget thing that came out. Built all these icons. See, I sketched them all out, and then once the sketches come out, then I'll go and lock all the graphics and stuff and make little icons and all that stuff. That all matches the grid, but these are all like the quick sketches. System overload. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, see, and I sketch it out really, really rough. These are just like super quick sketches just to get the ideas out and how it all kind of unwraps. Do these really quickly and placed them over like Elysium, and because we had no, yeah, I'd sketch out like a bunch of different little things, and then the art director would go and go, I like this one, I like that one, take to this one, go to that one. Just pumped out a ton of art. It's like an art machine. Yeah, do this one, then overlay on the video game, because eventually the video game started coming along, and then I had bits and pieces from there. How things would lock in, like we'd be like, you have this like depth thing happening. This is, you guys are literally seeing, like, this is so funny. I'm sharing this stuff because I don't really, I usually curate my work. I never do it like this. Let's see. But I'm trying to find an actual, let me see if I have it in an AI file. Let's see. Yeah, similar kind of stuff. Similar stuff here. And like just building out like asset armies and stuff, just like all kinds of bits and pieces. These are just patterns and stuff. But what I'm doing is I'm going through my Illustrator file. I have a ton of Illustrator stuff here for this project. Here, let me open this one for you guys. Let me share this with you, with y'alls. Getting the BTS behind the scenes.
It's very cool.
Big fat booty.
I used to be a huge fan of Call of Duty. Seeing all that stuff is really cool.
Oh, cool. Awesome. My type, I don't know what's going on. The fonts aren't loaded or some bullshit. So anyways, so as you see, as it works right here, voila. Have the sketch and the idea, and then taking all these things and working them in. I don't know if I was using the grid necessarily on this. I might have been. Let me see. I might have gotten better at this point. Maybe not. Again, guys, sorry, this isn't really planned. I'm just kind of going through here. This could be a file that's just like a culmination of stuff that I was throwing together. Sometimes I work cleanly, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what's going on, and I have no idea what I was going through at this time. So, and all my type doesn't look good. It looks all like shit. So, yeah.
So.
Yeah, but anyways, these are all like the things that are built out. Let's go to Y. Come on, man, Y. There we go. We can see kind of some of the breakdown. The type is all messed up, so don't mind that. Looks like shit, but you guys get the idea. So let me close these out.
Going on to the next question, says, any tips on building portfolio from scratch while having a day job? Architect, trying to move into architecture.
Yeah.
Struggling to get enough hours in and being frustrated at my day job because it feels like I'm wasting weeks/life boxes.
Yeah. Did I meet you? Did I meet this person? I mean, this is a common trait. Actually, I've met a lot of architects. I've met a lot of people in general who have told me this conundrum. I'm right there with you. I've heard that many times. I'm right there too. I'm in transition right now. Like I feel like I'm trying to be a baby George Lucas. It's just taking a lot of effort and time. And it's as much as I appreciate and I love my clients and I really love the projects and I adore what I get to do for a living. I do want to move on and be able to do what I want to do on a daily basis. So I want to kind of carry on. Advice for you is the best advice, and this is that you got to just take this. You got to stomach this one because this is the true advice. And I'm going to be the one that's going to give it to you. Is just do it. Like honestly, if you really want it, you're the only one that's in control of your time. You're the only one that's in control of your abilities. When I was working and at a job and I wasn't really happy, it sucks. I know that feeling. I really know. I sympathize with you. But the feeling of having to do it longer it ate me up. So I eventually just kind of moved on, and I spent all my I lost a lot of sleep, and I spent all my available time, for 3 months and built up a portfolio that got me hired at Prologue. That great people at Prologue hired me, and then I moved on from there. So I would say, you just need to have a plan, and if you do video games or any of that kind of stuff, if you have any kind of free time that you do any of that kind of stuff, then remove it all. If you want it, the faster you do that, the better you're gonna get. The faster you're gonna get there. So, look at priorities and stuff. So. I should teach a class on that. I don't know. Like I'm starting to turn into like Tony Robbins or something. I don't know what's going on, but hey, if I can help at all, to help you find your dream, then that's the goal in life. So, yeah. Hopefully I made sense. It's simple logic, really it is. And I know it sucks to hear that, but I'm going to be the one that tells you like, it's up to you, dude or dudette, whoever you are. You just go out there and do it, really. If you want to change in life, like make it happen. You got to want that change as much as you want to breathe, everything else too, or breed. Yeah, there you go. So look at that. That's pretty cool. If you're in Adobe Illustrator and you hit Command Y, you get to see all the edges of your sexiness. So it kind of just shows you like a X-ray of all your stuff. That looks pretty cool. See what I did, guys. So what I did is I made a little section right here, and then rotated it, moved it around, and then again, it's emerging complexity. It's a complexity that continues to emerge and build up, and now we have like this interesting construct now. And so I'm going to take this and I'm going to test, and I'm just going to try some weird stuff right now. So I'm going to go into brush right here, grab this one. I'm going to do a new brush, this little dongle right there. I really should be better at this stuff. I don't know technical terms at all. Being self-taught, I just kind of like learn on the fly and experiment. So let's try a pattern brush. Okay. Let's see, let it do its thing. Shit. Okay, cool. Let me save this. Actually, I haven't saved this file for a while. So yeah, hopefully that advice was okay. I hope that there's no real thing other than just get out there and do it, honestly. Okay.
Looks like Andrew and Mache took over the chat there.
Oh, you trolls. What's up, girls? Why don't you come on the volumes and hear us in the volumes?
Yeah.
So now what I did is, this is a trick that I taught in my class. It's quite a simple trick, but it creates things that would eventually take you a bit of time that might not be fun for you to do. So what I did is just made a pattern brush out of it, and now like let me just make another square out of here. Oops. Let me do this right here. Cancel. I'm hitting M for marquee, I guess. I guess that's the technical term for it. And now I'm going to take this stroke and I'm going to paint it with a different texture from the other shape that I made. Okay. And what I'm doing now is I'm just letting the computer do the work for me now. I don't want to do all this extra stuff. Screw that. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy human. need the machine to do it for me. So just kind of taking this, pulling this out here, and now I'm going to take this other shape and pull it out this way, and I'm going to line these up. Now we're going to get some crazy chaotic sauce right here. Some crazy chaos sauce.
Crazy chaos.
Chaotic sauce. Heard it here.
Next
Hashtag.
question.
Hashtag that ass.
Says Ash, since you work so much and sacrifice sleep,
Yeah.
as you've mentioned, do you tend to get sick often? Don't you get burnt out? How do you have the energy every day on 4 hours of sleep and fend off sickness?
You're right, and that is a great question because sickness does come about pretty easily if you're not careful. I take vitamins. I eat pretty healthily. I do work out jiu-jitsu. I don't know. I guess I'm pretty blessed with good health. Good health is a freaking blessing for sure. And so I've been really very lucky to have, sexy boy genes basically, so just keep that sickness away. But if you do find yourself getting sick, sleep is so important. And I actually got some good sleep last night. I feel freaking amazing. So, yeah, I think it's something that I really need to improve on in my life if I want to live past 40, because the rate I sleep now is just such garbage. So I'm gonna turn into this old shriveled golem here in a couple years if I'm not careful. So I'm only doing it because I'm working really hard right now, and it's not ideal, and I wouldn't advise anybody to do this at this level. But Papa gotta pay those bills, I don't know, it's bad advice, but I take a daily vitamin, multivitamin, a digestive vitamin. I take a bunch of different vitamins, and I try to eat pretty healthy. That helps counter that. And then jiu-jitsu, I think probably need to go do jiu-jitsu tonight, actually. Go get my ass kicked. It's gonna be great. And yeah, I think that's between those things. I'm unfortunate. I probably get sick maybe once a year. So, which is amazing considering I don't sleep much. Sometimes I do sleep. Sometimes I do get about 6 hours, sometimes 8 hours of sleep, and it's glorious. And I'm a really nice person. But when I don't, I'm a jerk. So yeah, you can easily tell if I slept or not.
Next one says, I'm almost at the end of my first year in 3D. Should I get into freelancing, or should I get some experience first, like getting an internship or a job at a studio?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say, depending on where you are and what you want to do, experience no matter what is good. You're always going to want to have experience. Experience is going to help you just in general. So I would suggest let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to do this at the same time. This thing is looking crazy. I would suggest, it's hard for me to tell because I don't know your work and I can't see your work, and I really hate giving advice that's so blanketed like this to you if I don't know you very well. But just kind of off the cuff of my head, I would suggest experience no matter what it is good. If you're spending 3 years and you're in college and you're trying to get your foot in the door, and you want to get a couple projects under your belt, then I would say go for it, or at least start off as a junior, like I kind of did, so, but it's really hard to gauge, so, and you would know if you're ready or not. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, that would be my suggestion for you, because I think that would probably help you get to the place that you want the most. So it just depends, it just depends on what it is you're trying to do, so, yeah, sorry, that wasn't the best answer, but I would suggest just, trying it out and seeing where you're at, and see if you can get an intern at a dream studio. If they won't, then maybe you can get a basic entry point, if you want to get experience. And, my goal was to just kind of get more experience so that I could get a website that would represent me at a maximum capacity. So if that makes sense. So there it is, guys. There's madness. Still building up. We got about 7 more minutes, I guess. 8 more minutes. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is a
Next.
good one, guys. This is a lot of people in here too. It's like 170 people in this one.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks.
growing.
Good
It's
to know.
growing. It's getting bigger and bigger. That's
Got
what
two
she said.
subscribers too. Thanks, guys.
Ah,
That's awesome.
snap. Yeah, the cool thing with you guys, if you guys are here and you guys want to be a part of this, you guys can do it for free as much as you want. That's totally fine. That's why we're here. It goes to YouTube eventually. But if you're subscribing, you're helping us continue this. What we're doing is we're just kind of trying to cover the cost of operations for the basics and in ins and outs, which helps us out so we can focus on other things and stuff. So but again, just don't feel obligated. I hate it when people make me feel obligated to do stuff that I don't want to do. So if you don't want to pay for it, don't. It's totally fine. You can have all this stuff for free. If you do want to subscribe, it's cool. And if you subscribe, right on. Thank you. So, right on. I'm the world's worst salesman on this stuff too, by the way. So, seriously, the worst.
Next question for you says, do you ever do research into science-related topics and how
Yeah.
scientists visualize actual data, or do you make it all up on your own?
Yeah, I love that stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that really, fuels my mind, being inspired by data and science and stuff. But yeah, when it comes to like trying other things, yeah, I'm just going flying off the, the cuff of my, was it the cuff of my pants? Is that what it is? What is that saying? The cuff of my sleeve?
I never heard that one.
Ah, damn it. I'm not on a roll today. No, it's just I really love science. I love like shows like the Cosmos and all that kind of cool stuff. That's all that kind of stuff is really inspiring to me, and it's stuff that really resonated with me as a kid. And I still love science, and I really love following it. I'm just like fascinated by people that actually do this stuff for a living. And how they get their their ideas and stuff, and imagining all that stuff. But when it comes to design and stuff, like for these kind of things, it's just me playing around. Really, it's just me being a big giant nerd and having fun, fantasizing on about weird ideas and stuff. So making up weird stuff. So yeah.
This
Nerd
next
time.
one says, can we have some Twitch episodes dedicated specifically for design techniques, and some episodes dedicated for just for Q&As related to different topics?
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think what we're gonna do eventually, Mache and I've been talking a lot about this. We're gonna start slowly ramping up. It's hard because you guys don't know there's a lot of stuff behind all these curtains of things, and as much as I want to give you everything that I can, just being specific about like how much time and resources we do have. I have my family, I have jiu-jitsu, I have multiple different client projects which help keep the lights on. I have the school, which is really important. This is just me personally. I'm not speaking about anybody else that's involved in this. But what we want to do is start to do a couple more live streams a week, and one of them I think would be good to just have it so it's like an open live stream for just questions, so that goes through that, and then one where it's just more or less design. If you really want a lot more design stuff, then you probably just want to take the class, because it's going to be you're not going to have anything getting in the way of you getting that information directly from me. So that'd be a suggestion, maybe if you're really keen on that, because that'd be the fastest way for you to get that stuff right into your brainer. So, but yeah, it'll happen, but probably not anytime like immediately soon. Probably in the next couple of months though, because Mache and I are thinking about trying to get on the stream, and like eventually the goal is to like Mache and I are doing this once a day. We're getting on here, sharing some stuff with you guys, and we're gonna build some really cool things with you guys, and share and build stuff along, and kind of have you guys follow along in the journey with us as we go through and stuff. So
That was Surgeon asking, by the way. Surgeon Burlak.
yeah, well,
So,
Surgeon, so you already have access to the class. So if you want like specifics, then go watch the lessons. If you want, yeah, because I know you're probably like, I don't want to hear these questions and stuff. So. But yeah, that's just part of the live stream, dude, for now. But there will be more design specific things, and you can just always ask design specific questions too, and I can try to do my best to answer those. So
this next one says, Ash, what did that 3-month portfolio consist of? What type of projects were they?
okay, cool. So yeah, that's a good question. So in regards to those, I think I was trying to get a job at a place like Prologue, so I took a lot of what I had made, and I might try to make Sorry, I'm trying to do some two things at the same time. I took all that stuff I made, and it was like I think it was a total of 6 projects. One of them was like drawing, like concept art kind of stuff, and then the other one was like graphic design kind of style stuff, and then the other one was like typography, and then another one was main title design stuff. If I can find that stuff, I'll share it with you guys. I really should try and find it, but I can't. I don't know where it is right now. I don't even want to try and search for that right now. It's all really old crap, and I'm quite ashamed of it probably, but it's actually got me the job, so maybe I should be okay with it. But yeah, that it was a good assortment because I wanted to hit all the bases. And the cool thing I will say about how I got that job at Prologue is Kim Cooper saw it, Kyle's wife, and she saw that I could draw, and they realized that they needed somebody that was in-house that could draw. They had a couple artists in there already, but they needed a couple more because it was good to have in an assortment with everybody else that was doing stuff. So that's what won me the job, was putting in those like wild cards into my workflow or into my portfolio. So, and honestly, guys, you never know who's going to hire you, who's going to see you, whatever it is. But I really do think that if you put a lot of passion forward, that's like the only advice I can say. But if you put a lot of passion forward, it's going to give you a good place. It's going to give you a good head start because people are going to feel that passion no matter what it is. So hopefully that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but if you have passion and love for whatever it is you're doing, then it'll resonate with people. I'm a firm believer in that. So there, hitting okay.
So we have about 2 more minutes left.
Yeah, I'm trying to show you guys how this works, but it's getting like super heavy. What I'm going to do with this, guys, is I'm going to take this and the next one. Hopefully, I should have everything ready on the PC. I'll take this into Cinema. I'll go from here and I'm going to take it into Cinema. And, oh yeah, this is heavy. Awesome. And take this into Cinema and bring this, extrude it, make some crazy structure, like a cube structure, and I'm going to light it and make all kinds of cool stuff. Some cool depth passes and all that stuff. I might actually do that right now after I get done with this. Well, probably not now, but maybe later today. In between this other class that I'm taking, and just see how it works and see if I can crash my computer. My goal is to always crash the computer. If you're not crashing your computer, you're not doing it right. So,
You want to take one more question?
Yeah, I'll take another one.
Yeah, this one says, when you import complex vectors like these into Cinema and extrude them, you're often left with a bunch of little splines that slow the viewport. Any advice on cleaning those up?
Yeah, there's a way. Forget how it's called. I'm going to go through this, and this is a perfect answer, a question to be answered by the guest teacher that's going to be coming on Learn Squared soon because he's really technical with this. I know there's a viewport setting that will help you with that, but I don't know if there's a way to extract all the splines that aren't connected to geometry. Let's get into that though when we get into this, and we can try and problem solve it. I'm sure somebody here has the answer, and if not, well, then we're kind of fucked. So, but I know there's got to be a way. There's always some kind of answers. Somebody knows something about something here, So, but yeah, that was poetic, wasn't it? Somebody knows something about something here. Something. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think I'm still jet lagged pretty bad. I woke up at like fucking 4:00 this morning and I was like, nope, I'm ready to go. And then I just didn't go back to sleep. So.
It's so awkward waking up and when everyone's just passed out, like the whole world is.
Yeah. People. I mean, somebody's asking. Maybe I would want to do a silent stream of just me working. Yeah, if you guys want that, I figured I'm more used to you guys by talking with you guys and interacting. But me just working, yeah, that should be fine. Maybe we could do like a half and half or something, So.
Yeah. If you ever do that.
Yeah. I just felt like I'm more useful to you guys by chatting.
Yeah, you and Mache, like you guys both get stuff done, but it's just all these questions that come at you, so your workflow is way faster.
Oh yeah, I work way fast if I'm not talking. So,
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like a lot of people have questions that need to be answered. A lot of it's repetitive. Honestly, it is. It's not like it's bad questions or anything. There's no real such thing as bad questions. It's just more or less just helping to address those things and stuff. So, and again, like I've been there, guys. Like we might be completely different worlds and all that stuff, but I've been there. and it doesn't mean that I've found my solace now. It doesn't mean I'm made it here. It's just that I might be a little bit farther along that you want, and if I can do it, then you guys 100% for sure can do it, so yeah, so that's my advice. I think hopefully you guys, hopefully these questions or answering these questions give you guys some kind of help or something, so
Awesome.
cool. I think that's it, guys. It's been a great one. These things go by so fast. Yeah, I'd like to
They
help
do.
out more, and yeah, eventually Mache and I are gonna be doing these a lot more, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Wow, that's crazy. Let's see what this looks like. Sorry, look at that. Whoa, crazy time. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this into cinema and just go crazy. I'm gonna see if I can break it. I think I can. I think I'm gonna break it. I think I'll probably. I don't know how many pieces of information that are here, but it's super dense. I love it when data is so dense that you can't really see it, like it becomes pubes or something. Data pubes. Take a picture of this and share it on
Yeah, that's dope.
Stimstergams, hipster spam, Instagram. Oh wow, that's crazy. It reminds me of some weird, like, I don't know what this is, but yeah, there you go. That's how it works, guys. Just get super nerdy and never stops. And if I took this into like cinema and it could make this emerging complexity using cinema and using like X particles or emitters or replicators and all that kind of stuff too. So
Very cool.
yeah, hipster spam. Awesome, guys. You guys have been great. Thank you guys for being here. I'll be back next week. John, you know what time? Same time, right? Wednesday, 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I try to make this stationary for you guys so that we just constantly come back and we're all here together doing the grab ass and touchy feely. So
Yeah, keep joining in. Soon enough, we're gonna be able to announce the new instructors and stuff. So
yeah, that's gonna be great. I'm excited for that. So, all right, guys. Thanks again. Thank you, John.
yeah, man,
Everybody give a big thanks to John for taking your questions and
it's a pleasure.
yeah, and yeah. Hopefully, you guys enjoy those books. Check out that podcast, and go play with Illustrator. The more miles that you put into it, the faster you're going to get to building stuff like this. The faster you're going to be able to make the artes. So this is all made with that same kind of stuff, guys. Same style. It's just I got hours and hours and hours and years of just kind of playing with this stuff to get to find my own style and stuff. So, but cool.
Cool.
All right, guys. Much love, everybody, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the other side. So, take care.
All right. Peace out.
Bye, babes. Mwah, mwah. Digital kisses.